fight-orientated draft.
Yep. Well, going into the game, ladies and gents, I think both these two teams, they got what they required. They went to the supermarket, picks up all the things from the shelves, and they're looking good. What do you think about that, Scrubby?
Yeah, I think the teams definitely know what they're going for this time. Like you said, both teams very, very inclined to fight, especially on the side of Revival, that huge, bursty team comp kind of composition here. But of course, we have to see how it plays out in reality. This is game number 1 between Zion Esports and Revival. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Zion on the blue side and Revival on the red.
Right off the bat, emblem, track Vanix using the jungler emblem. That is definitely going to be a tank Karina. Zion requires that tankiness, so I'm very glad, especially when Latte goes in for that Diggy, more of a support role. You know that Latte is not going to do, not going to take enough, not able to sustain enough damage before he goes down. So Zion, Vanix need to step up just a little bit. Another emblem track from the side of Revival. LY4 going for high and dry. This is also, like I said, the flavor of the month. This Paquito LY4 needs to play aggressively using this emblem, but we need to see. Right now, he's still farming in his own side of the jungle.
Yeah, he's going for the kills, right? Hence the emblem. And on the opposite side, Vanix going for the Demon Slayer instead. So we can probably expect to see Zion aim to take a lot more of these objectives. I think LY4 especially hasn't so far seemed to have a great time in the jungle as well. So maybe this is the way to go. A very aggressive player kill-oriented type of play style that might actually get him ahead, especially in the early parts of the game. Now on the top side, you mentioned the Diggy and Irithel as well. Super kind of like babysitting compositions here. And we know that being able to use the alarm bombs from Latte to poke out Peace is going to really slow down his farm here, and that's not going to be great.
Yeah, apart from the alarm bombs using to poke out Peace right there, you can also use alarm bombs to set up a bit of a vision, especially because don't forget, these alarm bomb putting at the brush will be able to scout out Revival's movement, and you know, Revival getting scouted out, they're looking at the turtle instead.
Yep, already rotated down. You can see the team's just setting up for this right now. Going to be Vanix pulling it, but LY4 goes in. Latte immediately drops to the ground and he retreats, but is caught out by the real world manipulation in the backline. Ryan finds Azura X on the chase right now. Will he get the kill? Doesn't quite just yet, and the turtle is left alone for the time being. Both teams disengaging from this.
Both teams disengaging, but it's still Zion sticking on top of that turtle. LY4 got what he wanted. Using the high and dry, goes for the kills instead. Zion's the one with the better objective control with the Demon Slayer emblem. So I think Zion, a good start for now. Looking at the goal lead, especially still favoring for the side of Zion, but we shall need to see towards the later part of the game when Ryan starts to pick up, you know, at least 2 Guardian Helms. That's when he starts to punch.
I like that you said at least 2 Guardian
Helms. I was
Helms,
thinking 2 or 3. I was like, you can never have enough Guardian Helms on Marsha.
Yeah, you can expect that. I mean, it definitely helps the kit as well. But on the top side, looks like a rotation coming through here. QDX Love as well as Swolt. I don't know if they see Zion coming as well, though. Vanix on the back line going in. QDX Love with the wall and the stun onto Latte. But the rest of Zion are here to help QDX Love force the back. The real world manipulation gets the shots onto Swolt. It's going to be Vanix that cleans that up for the team.
Yeah, Swolt using the ultimate just to try to get way back, but he actually magic ultimate himself back into the snapping jaws of Zion. Of course, Revival did it really well in terms of setting up for the gank. Unfortunately, it's Zion that's the one that walked away. Let's take a look at the emblems. As what I mentioned, it is the mage killer from the side of Vanix. Of course, the emblem for Irithel is the one that allows her to sustain in lane. Not only just that, towards the later parts of the game, those movement speed is definitely very crucial. However, average for the side of the Cloud standard emblem in order to, you know, get your farm quicker, and of course mystery shops so that Swolt get the items required. Swolt will be able to clear the mid lane very quickly and force Azura X. If you notice Azura X movements, it's very hard for him to leave the lane.
Yeah, well, he is now, though, I think, looking for another opportunity potentially on the top side. Looks like they decide the better of it, but you can see both teams already positioned. They want some control of this top before the next objective spawns and just looking potentially for this next opportunity.
Looking for our next opportunity indeed, but I don't think they should push it super aggressively because, you know, Turtle has spawned, Vanix has to stay as alive as possible. LY4, you know, getting that 1 kill is great, but I want to see more. We need to see him picking up Supergirl or even pick up Latte. That's good as long as you scale out quickly. You farm Latte as much as possible, especially when you go for a very aggressive emblem. But now they're setting up, the wall has been built.
Yeah, they're already starting it. Vanix quickly secures the turtle as well. Life4 tries to go in for Mango, who's taking the flank here. But Revival, I don't think they can take anything from this fight at all. And Peace, at that time of the fight, didn't actually have his ultimate. So not a very good timing there, it seems.
Not very good timing for the side of Revival. I would have to definitely agree. Vanix has overall control, but oh, he's getting caught out.
Yeah, Vanix trying to make an escape here. Will he be able to? Supergirl comes in from the back as well. Shots from the top. Will not be able to secure a kill just yet. LY4 Answell on the run. They actually saved their teammate there.
Yeah, heavy crossbow coming in, dishing out damage, pushes Revival away. Vanix got shot down a little bit low. Here comes the blazing duet as well by Peace.
Yeah, but I think he's just trying to use that to clear it up. It's not for damage.
Yeah.
So far he's been using pretty defensively, and that's not great. Granted though, this is still a Claude in the early game, so it's okay. I think that he uses that for now. He will need to save that in the later part of the game though, because on the side of Revival, you know, the whole setup, QDX Love with the wall, with that emblem as well to reduce the cooldowns, they're really aiming to set team fights up as much as possible.
Yeah, looking at the core item, but hold on a second, real world manipulation being built up already, but then again, you know, it is, you know, Revival locking Zion up in the side of the base. It is not Revival locking Zion, it's themselves locking themselves with Zion.
Yeah, there was no way that QDX Love was going away from that. I think just that whole box zoning that out, a huge win for Zion, because securing that top turret now is going to create so much space for them, deny Peace of even more space, and now the next objective, not to mention 1 kill though, actually it's gonna be Peace taking down Supergirl.
Yeah, I think that was a blazing duet for the use of Peace. Latte coming in to try to clean it up. 2 members already. Definitely a dead Peace right there, but it's all good. But now Zion doesn't have damage though.
Yeah, the time journey popped preemptively, seeing as QDX Love was coming in, but doesn't seem to have the wild charge in any case, giving Zion the opportunity to start on this turtle, but Revival looks like they want to contest this. LY4 is heading back to the buff for now though.
Yeah, Revival, I'm okay with how they've moved so far. They do pick up quite a good fight against Zion, but then again, you know, I think Ryan was jumping the gun a little bit too much earlier in the first team fight. But now, you know, as we go towards the later part of game, I think Revival might take this. Peace will come in for a nice juicy flank with a blazing duet, and Ryan will create so much havoc at the back line. Zion needs to try to find a way to protect Supergirl or even Azura X.
The thing is, they might actually be able to, because looking at the draft of Revival, hold on though, Mango, Peace is on the run here, swapping lanes, trying to farm up, but Zion does not let up at all. Azura X though actually goes down in the middle of that fight. Revival, a small win for them there. Potentially looking for more. QDX Love rotating to the mid lane. Zion recognizes this, so they're quick to back away.
Yeah, quick to back away. I think LI4 did what he needs to. Pick up one person, move on. I think this is a different LI4 this time around, going up against Zion. So much on the line for Revival to prove. Same could be said over to Zion. They need to take this point, but Revival is not gonna give it up without a fight.
Yeah, for sure. You can see them just pressuring down on the lane so hard, where Vanix and Supergirl are at this moment. But you mentioned earlier, setting up the team fights, right? I think Zion, they have so much movement speed though on the side of Irithel. They have the time journey as well to help them dispel any of that lockdown. And they also have Azura X for that whole zone denial. So even if Revival wanted to go in for the flanks like you mentioned and create some disruption in the backline, it is so much easier for Zion to go in and out and slip out of these fights. So I think maybe Revival might have a hard time finding the members of Zion.
So it's all about surprising or flanking, right? But look at how Mango has positioned the goal, how Lam has positioned. They're always roaming around the river, not giving information over to the side of Revival, but also getting information for themselves. Now, Beauty, I think his role in this particular team fight is very important. The wild charge needs to be landed properly to knock out Azura X in the air, but bottom lane is already go down.
Oh, QDX Love caught out there, does not get away. Swell is the next target, so quick. Vanix on the fingers. The kill going to Azura X instead, and it's 2 down on the side of Revival. They've also taken away that tier 1 turret from that, but LY4, he spots out Supergirl. Goodbye! Puts him in the dirt immediately, and that's 1 down for Zion. Important key member, especially now that they want this Lord. But maybe this is the bait. They're still going for it anyway, and Mango, he finds LY4 in the backline, zoning him out completely from taking that buff and doesn't get it. The Lord still goes to Zion. My goodness.
My goodness, Vanix was actually just holding on so much precision in this one guy. LY4 tries to steal it away, but he wasn't able to make it in time. Mango was sticking to LY4 as much as possible, but Revival, they do have the better tempo right now. They're going to build up the wall, the real world manipulation to just protect the mid lane turret.
Yo, I mean, this is what we talked about in the key to victory, right? Maybe Supergo. Okay, I don't think that was intentional.
Alright.
I'm sure he didn't see LY4 there in the bushes, but that bait that we were talking about. And let's look at exactly what happened early on.
Yeah, so what I saw for now is just Azura X holding on to the real world manipulation. He knows that Ryan's doing so much pressure at the backside, but I think the main thing is Mango sticking on top of LY4. As LY4 dances around, keeping tabs on LY4 is very important. But now, going in, Mango trying to open up the map, but there's the Lord marching down bottom side.
Yeah, he takes some damage here. Revival forced to try to protect the bottom turret, does not manage to do so. Lord still crashes down on it, and they're left to defend this with whatever they have. Zion, they're trying to make a two-prong attack here in the mid lane as well. Azura X trying to siege together with the minions.
Yeah, I feel like Zion has left the mid lane turret up way too long, so they're cracking open the sides, then they can actually start to pick apart the mid. But hold on a second, Piece going in.
Dives in with the blazing duet, but the time journey is popped, and he doesn't do much at all to the members of Zion. And the box, the grid from Azura X comes down, doesn't get anyone as well, so they both disengage. But this is what I mean, it's so difficult to get into the depths of Zion. Yes, you have the blazing duet, but once you pop that, Zion can also disengage from you. And just look at the sprints that they have as well.
Yeah, like 4 sprints and 1 retribution. I mean, it's kind of brainless coming out from inside Zion, but it's required, right? Especially with Swirl, definitely has the Ice Cream Wand already built up, and you have to run away from the wild charge. Peace will definitely come at you with the blazing duet. You just sprint away. So what Zion is doing, let's bait Peace into us. We run away and disengage. One piece is done with the blazing duet. We re-enter with more damage, because as long as Supergirl is alive, he lands down a heavy crossbow. That's a lot of damage. Constant DPS that they're landing on top of Revival's draw.
Yeah, I guess the rest of the members can, for Revival, they cannot just rely on that blazing duet anymore, right? The damage from Swirl has to pop off as well. Now again, Peace trying to get Mango with the ult doesn't do quite enough damage as he might have hoped, and Vanix just invading the jungle at will.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. Revival now doesn't really have a big damage, and now Zion will try to handshake a fight. Mango has baited out the blazing duet away from Revival. Zion's trying to make some good plays, especially with the Lord coming out at 10 seconds. By then, I think Peace's blazing duet is up, so Zion has a very slim window for them to take this enhanced Lord.
It has to be set up well, though. Like we said, QDX Love needs to find that correct angle, needs to find out on the right people. There is Supergirl, but earlier on we saw, even if he dies, there is still Vanix, there is still Azura X. So it just seems so difficult for Rival to get this one correct. And right now, even Mango, he's gone all the way down just to set up for this Lord. Force the rotation from Ryan to clear out those waves on the base turret. And they're giving it up.
Yeah, they're giving it up. I don't really like how Revival's doing. They're giving the Lord over to Zion. Zion Mango has successfully catches 2 though. Yeah,
on the back line, and just zoned so much of Revival away. They didn't get anything at all out of the fight. They lost the Lord, they lost the bottom base turret. I don't know what to make of this.
It's a very tough side of Revival. Zion has done every single thing right. Mango pushed down shelf bottom, forces Ryan to react, and then after that, you know, come in for the flank, make sure that Peace is stayed away from the Lord pit, and so that Zion can successfully take down the Lord. So Revival probably lost too much. Looking at the items, Wind of Nature is very beneficial for the side of Everthel to counteract against the Blazing Duet. Same for the side of Claude as well. But once again, that is a tank arena. There's already Garden Helm being built up. Even the Antique Cuirass as well, so that you can counteract against LY4's damage. But LY4, look at that items for War Axe, Bloodlust Axe, even Hunter Strike, and even Malefic Roar as well. If Zion were to allow LY4 to the backline, that backline will melt.
The real world manipulation comes out to start the fight. Ryan dives in. LY4's trying to flank from the back, but the damage is enough to come through. Latte goes down first. It's a trade across as Ryan dies as well. And now Zion, they find the opportunity onto Peace. They managed to get that front front line, and now they have the chance to siege together with the Lord on the base turret. They go straight for the core and more shots from the top just to be able to secure this game.